Where is Sally?
Yep. I'm so happy this happened.
Are you all right?
I'm so happy this happened.
Yeah, very happy. Very, very all right. Very all right.
You are in a cavern with
Right.
a cave ogre.
Right.
You're in deep shit, man. You got to get out of there.
No, we're not.
No, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're fine. Can we come in?
He just hears that echo.
I can't open this door on purpose. This was a door that was here from an earlier situation. And when the cave ogre moved in, we had to barricade it.
Right.
You got to come around.
Where? How is around?
How the hell did you get down here?
We swam.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No, you did not
So
swim.
happy. So happy.
We swam. Yeah. Well, our friend Doctor here, you know what he's involved in. He can teleport.
He's completely baffled.
Yeah.
He's looking at you like he is completely baffled.
Yeah. Listen, let's just connect on your side, and we can, hash this out.
Do you know how to get out of there?
Oh, just through the way that we came in.
All right. I'm going to meet you at the docks.
Right.
No.
Okay. Awesome. Let's do it.
No.
Todd, can I roll whether this well thought out thought comes through?
What well thought out thought?
My character's well thought out thought that's like hiding inside of this Hulk version of him.
So basically there's a possibility that the thought Rich is having about Aster.
No. I mean, Aster's having.
Aster's having it but needs to bring it to the surface, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
You just beat your fucking fist against a wall, dude.
So how about a knowledge check for me?
All right. What do I need to get?
I'll set the DC. We're not that far into your little fleece trip here.
Yeah.
So I will say that the DC is 13.
I pass.
Oh.
That's going to be, I got a 12. Oh, it's a critical success. 2 6s.
Fantastic.
Nice.
So whatever
Over
thought
there.
it
I
is you're
couldn't see
having
it.
does come to the surface.
I'm gonna run into the middle.
You gotta hope.
I gotta hope so. I'm gonna run into the middle of this fighting room we were in, this big open room. I'm gonna say, guys, come here.
All right.
They come here, and I pull them away from the door. I'm gonna say, give it like 5 minutes. I'm gonna teleport through that little speak hole.
Okay. You can't take us, right?
No,
So we'll have to walk out
but
anyway.
Valen will be gone.
We're just meeting him at the
This guy's
front.
out of his fucking mind.
What?
We're just meeting him in the front.
No.
You meet him. I'm going to that room.
Yeah, but if he brings other people with him to the front and there's a battle, I'm gonna need you.
Let me do my fucking thing.
You're not getting me through the water
I
again.
need you.
It's not happening. No.
Could you take him with you?
No.
Through the hole in the door?
Oh, maybe.
No. Maybe I could open. I don't know.
All right.
I don't know.
I hope
Okay.
you start breaking down.
All right.
Yeah, he's having he doesn't know what
Crying,
this-
Okay.
losing your
All right.
mind.
So what's happening?
We don't know.
So, I want to go back to the front. If you're so interested in doing that, you may do that. But I feel that I would rather you come with us. Because we can't get the whole party through that little tiny hole.
Give me like a minute in there.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna run back over to the room,
Yeah.
the doorway.
Okay. You run back over to the doorway.
Check if he's in there.
Oh my god.
Look through the fucking hole.
You look down.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna look through the hole.
You look through the
Is he
hole,
still in there?
and you can see a decent portion of the room.
Right.
You do not see him in the room.
All right. He's gone.
And you teleport in.
Yeah.
All right. All of a sudden, you
But
see
it's like
Ashton
an angry
Crumb
sneeze this time. It's not even like a normal It's like a.
Yeah, as he sneezes, his sort of apparition sort of disappears into like a mucusy vapor. It's just kind of like,
Oh,
big as a lump of snot on the ground.
and you reanimate inside of this space.
I need to roll.
You need to roll. Yeah, roll. Don't fail.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
nice.
That's a 17 with fear.
17 with fear gets you in. I'm taking that fear. Actually, I'm not gonna take that fear. I'm gonna do it right now.
Oh.
Boom! Cool. You reanimate inside this beautifully lit, well-equipped studio. There are barrels about. There appear to be several large stone and metal bowls on the table, all with mortar and pestle. They're kind of like set up for some kind of mixtures. There are measuring cups and spoons. There are scales. And as you appear in this space, from behind you, you hear a voice say, "Accessing. Ashter Crumb. Occupation, physician. Location, Emakora. You, sir, are trespassing." And this arm reaches out and grabs your neck and holds you in place. Yes. Meanwhile, Knockram and Barnacle were making their way towards the original cave that they came into to meet Valen. What's going on? Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna go the fuck underwater and try to pop up on the other side. Hey.
I will say that given your experience with going in and out of this space now, that you're able to sort of traverse this without any trouble and get back to the main cave.
Are you over your fear of water?
No.
No?
No.
Can you put yourself the fuck together?
No.
And swim to the other side? Because we're not making it out. If you don't...
I have the rope.
Swim the fuck through the water. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
Pull me.
With rope?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I have 50 feet of rope on my person. I actually do. Awesome.
I'll tie it around me.
Yeah, tie it around your waist. I'm going to swim to the other side, and then I'm going to pull you through. Just hold on to it, okay? All right? Awesome. I'm giving you no warning.
Oh, perfect.
No, I'll tug twice. I'll tug twice.
No.
I'll tug twice. That way you can breathe. All right. I'm going to tie him up.
Fucking pull me.
And
toss me.
Go to the other side.
Okay.
Toss me.
I'm going to give him 2 tugs. I'm going to just fucking... pull him all the way through.
You're hanging onto the rope.
Yeah, I tied it around my waist.
It's around your waist?
Yeah.
Make an agility roll. You're getting yanked through this cavernous hole that's sharp with coral and...
That is a critical success with 12.
Damn.
Max,
You wasted that roll.
We're at 25 agility.
I think no problem. As the frog form that you are, you're able to sort of glide through this space without touching the sides. You make it through unscathed. You come up on the other side. You guys are back in the other side of the cavern.
Awesome.
That being said, can I do something?
Yeah, let's come back around to you.
Now, is this thing saying anything to me?
Well, it just said that you're trespassing, and it reached out with its mechanical arm.
Is it a big creature?
You turn around and try and turn and look.
Yeah.
It's very difficult for you to do this because it's holding you by the neck. So your back is to it right now.
All right. Hope or fear?
What are you trying to do?
What are you doing?
I'm either going to teleport out of the room or I'm going to teleport towards this thing and punch it.
My God.
You... Oh. Okay. Okay.
Which one is it?
Yeah, that's going to be a 16 with fear.
Oh.
A 16 with fear.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of teleport.
So you succeed on the teleport. You're teleporting towards this clank, and you're going to attempt to punch it.
Well, I want to get a look at it first.
Well, wait.
How big is it?
Would the fear be punching the thing, or would the
fear
be
was
leaving
teleport
the
out of
room?
here, or the fear was teleport closer to the thing, or the hope is teleport out.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, typically, you don't get to decide what happens in fear. That denotes a GM's move.
Well, he's
No, this
choosing,
is just for me.
He's using the fear hope system not to feed you. It's to make a decision on his character.
Yeah.
I'm aware.
So you get your own twist of it with the fear.
Okay. So, all right, I kind of get it.
That's just for me.
I thought
Gotcha.
you were just driving it yourself.
No.
It's all good by me.
Little 10 candles.
So, yeah, little 10 candles. So you basically succeed in the teleportation, but you're going at this thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, the teleportation is instantaneous. So, you teleport right up close to it, and you are faced with what appears to be a 6-foot-tall, live, very advanced clank life form that appears to be sort of skinned in some kind of mildly translucent skin over a robotic framework. It is clear that this is one of the more arcane versions of the clank rather than the more sort of valve, steam, and gear-driven clank. It has a very sort of fairly well articulated face.
What's it doing? His face looks stupid?
The face actually looks like the face of a woman, which is kind of interesting.
Well, yeah, that softens me a little bit. How's my rage? Am I still on drugs?
Yeah, because you were supposed to be at this for 19 minutes, I believe, and you are only, I'll say 10 minutes into it, so you still got a little ways to go.
Okay.
So, why don't you go ahead and make an agility roll for me as this thing whose hand all of a sudden became absent to your neck as you teleported out, reaches out now and immediately attempts to grab you by the neck
Understandable.
again.
Understandable. Well, you see,
You got a number for me?
He's
I think he's mathing over here.
I'm going to use a hope to use fully fleeced. I'm going to make it up. It's up to 8.
8. This clank, sort of its arm at an amazing rate of speed and almost a soundless kind of movement, just reaches around, grabs you again. And it looks at you for a moment and very coldly just says, Aster Crumb, you are being detained until Valand Arluden is able to ascertain the situation. Please cooperate, or I'll be forced to damage you.
Oh. Damage me.
Can I punch her?
Oh my god.
Your hands are free, and you are within an arm's length. So,
Well,
yes.
That's going to happen.
Awesome.
Give up.
motherfucker.
Oh my goodness.
Give up.
That's going to be a 11.
With
fear.
11 with fear.
Mm-hmm.
You miss,
All
because just as you go to swing,
Yep.
Oh my god.
the arm almost appears to magically just extend just a little bit.
Wait, do I
more.
add anything to that?
Well,
An attack roll?
on an attack roll for an unarmed strike, because you're just attempting to punch, I would say...
I have arcane gauntlets.
What?
I have arcane gauntlets.
Okay, that's very nice, but what do they do?
2d10 plus 3.
So they're the weapon themselves?
Yeah, that's my weapon.
Typically gauntlets
Then-
are...
Go to your active weapons.
Yeah, what's your active weapon?
That is my active weapon.
Okay, so your primary, does it say plus
Oh.
whatever from strength?
Because you wrote it on paper.
Oh, motherfucker.
Do you
I
guys,
love paper.
Do you guys have a bonus?
I have my dagger is a finesse weapon. It's a +3.
Oh,
So-
then, I would use my my knowledge then, because it's arcane.
You might be right. He might be right on that.
Okay. I'll buy that.
Unarmed strike. This attack often uses strength or
It's not unarmed
finesse.
strike.
Bitch.
It is in fact a weapon.
14.
14 unfortunately still does not hit.
I power thoughted.
Damn.
And I missed.
So you swing.
Ah.
This clank's arm just extends a little bit further, and it's going to
That hurts.
It's going to bear down on you
It's really mean that you did
and
that.
squeeze, and that is going to be a 10 to hit you.
It's going to miss me somehow.
Okay, but it does clamp down even harder,
Yeah.
and it says, Ashter Crumb, you're being detained. Please cooperate.
I'm
Valen
cooperating.
Darluden will be with you shortly.
I'm cooperating.
Is that going to be the end of your... Let's go back to you
No.
guys.
Yeah.
So you come out into the main cavernous room, and from, as you come out of your entryway, the one you went in, you notice over to your left, Valen Darluden emerging, still wearing the leather coveralls, kind of like leans over and sees the two of you, and he's like, "What happened to your friend?
Oh, he
Is he all right?"
So he's on drugs. And in rage, he teleported into your lab.
Oh God.
So
What do you mean he's enraged? I hope a core didn't kill him.
yeah, he seemed to be grabbed by a thing.
Hey, what?
Wait, you saw that and you left?
Yeah.
That's great.
It's so sad.
Because what are we gonna do? Come through the door and help you?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
What happened to... How did you get past the cave ogre? Sally's like... We kind of just let her be, but
Yeah.
nobody really goes down there.
No, you don't have like an attachment to her, right?
No, not exactly.
Oh, I split her skull open.
You killed her!
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there's only one or two people down here that'll be upset with that.
That's fine. They don't gotta know.
Well, welcome to Andira's Haven.
Thank
This
you.
is one of our secretive locations. And by the way, when I was asking you earlier how you got down here, I wasn't talking about that cavern. How did you get down here? And then he kind of looks over your shoulder,
Right.
and he sees the angler parked.
We hitched a ride. It was open.
Did you take that?
Yeah, it was unlocked.
No.
Yeah.
Raises an eyebrow at you and doesn't really know what's
Seemed
going
for
on.
free use. There were no signs.
It's like, all right, whatever. We should probably get back to my studio because I think your friend might be in a
In
little bit of
trouble,
danger.
yeah.
I've got a clank in there that really, does a great job of protecting my space and is basically
It's a weird
ordered with
flex when
killing
my friend's
anybody
life
who...
is at risk.
What's that?
What?
I don't know.
I said that's a weird flex.
How long is it going to take for them to get back? I would have liked that. I would like the thing to have worn off, and me to be in a semi-unconscious state.
No, the fucking Cheetos.
Yeah, I think we could arrange that because they would have worked their way through the watery cavern. They would have met up with Valen. They would have had a minor, brief discussion.
So I'm kind of just like,
Yeah, a few minutes would have gone by. All right, so you're semi-conscious.
yeah.
All right. All right, so the rest of the group, you guys come back in. Now, as you enter Valen's laboratory, it is a fairly well-equipped, and the first thing you notice as you're entering this laboratory, the doorway is not heavily secured. It is a simple doorway with a simple locking mechanism, but you would expect, especially after you go inside, this to be the type of place that is heavily guarded,
A murder robot.
right? You enter the space, and it's a fairly large, not entirely cavernous space, but decent-sized space with about 6 working tables that he has several sets of bowls set up on, a couple of scales. He's got barrels of different ingredients for whatever it is that he makes down here. You see several tools, you see hammers, you see different types of scraping mechanisms. So it's a fairly well-equipped lab. He brings you inside. And he says, I'm assuming since you're here, you have news for me. What have you found out? What's going on with your friend?
Yeah, you guys just walk in and I'm just hanging there.
Yeah.
This thing's just holding me.
Well,
know,
no,
buddy.
and actually now, I should have detailed this, I'm sorry. When you passed out,
Yeah.
it placed you down in a chair. So you're kind of out in a chair.
You know Fleece? You know Fleece?
Maybe it killed him.
Sure.
The
I know
drug?
Fleece. Yeah.
Do I look dead, Barney?
He gets superpowers through that.
Superpowers.
Yeah. Superpowers.
But you're the one who killed Sally.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What's the word then? I have work I need to do, and I do appreciate you coming all the way down here, but I don't have time for small talk, to be honest.
We wanted to take a look down here. We had reason to believe that the shell of the bomb that detonated and blew up your establishment, what? Was forged down here.
I'm gonna start crying.
So we wanted to see what this place was about, because if it was made down here, then it would be apparent that one of your colleagues had some involvement against you.
So
What's wrong with you, Asher?
What the fuck is wrong? What the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm curious, where did you get the information that said that this was made down here?
Excuse me.
While you check your notes.
Just
Well,
some
not
dude
when
in-
finishes chewing on some pocket bacon. We went to the Tinkerers,
It's a fucking tinker. Yeah.
Tinkerers corner with all the Tinkerers.
The ward.
The Tinkerers ward. Spoke to some metal working craftsmen. They said the only place that would be able to do something like that would be this place.
Well, that's interesting because, I mean, first of all, the 10, of which I am one, that work down here, we are all part of the same organization, the same guild. We all sort of, we're a system of checks and balances against one another. In order to make it into this group, you have to be one of the best makers in Amakora, potentially in Emberfell.
Right.
There is no way we'd work against one another. That's just not even conceivable.
Right. To you.
Who told you this was made down here?
I don't remember.
You don't remember.
There's a guy.
You've talked to that many people.
Who's the guy?
There's a guy.
It was a guy.
It was a
The
guy.
guy in the tinker.
Who's the guy? Who would be? Who would we go to if down here for somebody who works with metals, casts metals?
Let me ask you a couple of questions here.
Sure.
All right, so first of all, Maddox the suit.
Mm-hmm.
Did you talk to him?
Yes, he did.
And what did you learn from him?
Well, we didn't really learn much. He's an angry dude.
He's a maniac.
He really wanted us to get him a shitload of your explosive.
Oh, he deals in that blue stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That blue shit. For them magic users.
Andira.
Yeah. But he wanted to get us. He wanted us to get him 100 pounds of your explosive material.
Which he's been trying to get off me for some time.
Right.
And I was aware of the fact that he dealt in Andira. The black
Right.
market for that material is, quite
large.
profitable in this region, given the fact that you have to have a license to use magic.
Yeah.
So, but ultimately, I'm curious how this plays out in terms of him not being able to get anything off of me. He has motive.
Right.
What about Galen Shorn? Did you talk to him?
Useless.
He was also pretty useless.
How is it that my leads are useless? This seems odd to me.
He's a clank.
He kind of like slowly turns and looks at you and says, "Excuse me?"
I think he's a clank.
Interesting. How did you come to this decision that you think he's a clank?
Well, you see, I was trying to get some mushrooms back from him, and I was in the room last. Those guys left, but then I saw under his shirt he was glowing blue. I think he's one of those, like, highly sophisticated clank people.
Yeah, like, do this one. Pointing to that lady. Choked me out.
Ooh.
Well, this actually makes this is kind of bizarre.
Oh, and he's got a mistress.
Oh, yeah, he does.
We don't know who it is.
Well, I should hope not. But let's get back to him being a clank for a second, because if he is the leader of the Sentient's first movement, and he's a clank, that seems to be logical. He's heading up a move. All right, so first of all, I must admit this comes as a total surprise to me. And I'm curious why my wife hasn't mentioned anything about this. Anyway, it would make sense that he would run the Sentient's first movement if he were in fact a clank, because it would serve his own interests. But what I'm totally baffled by is, I still believe he might be responsible for this, but why would he blow up my supposed lab?
Mm-hmm.
What would be the motive there? Maybe he's not involved after all. The clank thing is curious, though.
Yes.
Hmm.
We did
He wouldn't
some
have
real
killed Clank.
harsh interrogating.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was embarrassing. There was really no reason why we would think that he might go after you. Maddox the Suit, very strong case.
Psychopath.
Very strong case.
Scary guy. Wants to blow up more things.
Yeah, he wants to blow up a lot of things. No reason why he couldn't blow up your things, but unfortunately we couldn't speak to him for that long, so we figured at least we'd try to pretend to work alongside him.
He turns and looks at the automaton that was holding on to you for a few moments
That's a gentle way to put it.
and says, "Kor,
Don't lie to you like that.
I have a thought for you." All of a sudden, this automaton just sort of gently turns and looks at him and kind of like blinks twice, and he says, "Why would an automaton disguise himself as a human and also hide his identity as an automaton in order to run a movement that seeks rights and claims sentience for the race of clanks?" And she blinks twice and she's like, processing. And she sits there for a few minutes and he turns back to the rest of you. He's like, "That'll take a minute. I have a theory about this."
Because people will listen to not a human before they'll listen to a clank, so he needs to disguise himself as a human to gain rights for himself.
I think that is the obvious answer, and I think that's the one he wants us to think of.
Okay.
But I have another theory. And with that, Kor says, "Inquiry," and he turns and looks. She says, "Were there any clanks destroyed in the explosion?"
Yes, too.
Processing. There's an 85% chance that the automaton clank that is looking to do this wanted to cause civil unrest and create a name for the clanks that could be perceived as negative, thus creating a cause for the movement to rise up.
Martyrs?
Potentially.
Interesting.
Valen turns around and looks at you and he's like, "It's possible that this wasn't intended to hurt me. it's possible this was intended to put the blame of the automaton's death on me. And at the same time, create sympathy for the automatons that were killed. That could generate some positive forward motion for their movement.
But then why the hate on you?
I'm not entirely sure of that yet. I think my space was targeted. But if my space were not targeted, it was merely the presence of those automatons that was the reason for the explosion. There might
Okay.
be something larger at play.
He's working with Maddox. They're both getting something out of this. Maddox gets you out of the way. He gets rights for automatons.
You are wise when you're not using that substance, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's entirely possible they're in this together. Would you like to make a little more coin?
Oh.
Sure.
I think I have a way we can get to the bottom of this. He walks over across his studio really quickly, throws open a couple of drawers, slams them shut, and starts rummaging through various cabinets in and around his shop. Eventually, he opens up one cabinet, shuffles some things aside, and pulls a box out. Brings it over, places it on the table, lifts open the lid, and a blue glow comes out from inside the box. He reaches inside and he pulls out a rather small object, about the size of a 3-inch, just under 3-inch sphere. It is a sphere that looks like it's entirely covered in Andira pods. But hanging from the bottom of it appears to be a small string. He looks at you and he's like, this, if lit and tossed into a room, will not do any harm to the room. There is a small explosive device in the middle of these Andira pods. It will trigger a chain reaction that will send a pulse of arcane energy into a room, disabling anything powered by arcane energy. If used in the presence of Galen Shorn, and Galen Shorn is in fact a clank, like our friend here says, you'd completely render him unconscious.
How long?
Bring me his body.
Oh my
Ooh.
gosh.
If we can get Galen Shorn down here, I can open him up. Core over here can access his data banks, and we can find out what's really going on. We can get to the bottom of this. You want to do that?
Sure.
Wait.
There's more money in it for you.
How much more?
I'll throw in another chest of gold.
Oh.
Okay.
The good part about this,
I don't want your money.
Shut up. Yes, you do.
Yeah, we know you're looking for reputation and a clear name, but you know.
That's so outlandish to you. For someone who
Some of
obviously
us-
for someone who doesn't give a
some
shit
of
about
us
their name.
Aren't a doctor, and you know, money is everything.
Oh, okay. Some of us just, deal drugs. Low lives.
You use them.
Okay. So anyway. Cool.
And you're going to take no responsibility for that.
I'm not saying that.
These two.
Need some fleas?
It's been the entire
I'm
investigation.
going to fucking kill you.
Christ.
Wow.
You hear me?
Someone's grumpy.
I'm going to punch him in the face.
You're punching him in the face?
Yeah. Critical success.
You piece of shit!
Arcane gauntlets.
You piece of shit.
What do I get? Damage, full damage plus another one?
full damage of the dice you would roll, and
That's-
then roll on top of that, add modifiers.
That's 23. Plus 17. 40 points of damage.
You're
Gen-
gonna.
Gentlemen.
He's dead!
Gentlemen.
Wait!
Are you dead?
40 points of damage?
I'm not dead, but almost.
Gentlemen.
If he hadn't healed me, you would have killed me.
You fucking asshole!
What did I do?
What did you do? We're done. We are done.
Okay.
We are done.
Okay. I'm sorry I offended you.
Perhaps this
Aster.
isn't the best
Shit.
arrangement. There seems to be a little unrest amongst the three of you.
We can get this done without him.
Oh, fine. You don't need me anymore.
All right. This is pretty fucking simple. Okay? We detonate a thing. If he goes unconscious, we take him and we bring him the fuck back here. And you guys don't have to say another fucking word to each other.
I don't want to be around him. And I don't want your money.
Okay, then don't take the money. Give it to me.
I want my reputation back.
All right.
And how do you propose you're going to do that? Not that I have a lot of interest in that. I have my own things to do right now. You're sort of tied up in the middle of something rather difficult, aren't you? You, I believe, have a fine to pay off. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, you have a limited time to pay that off?
Yes.
But you don't want my money.
I think this is a stupid emotional decision.
Fine.
I think you should take the fucking money.
So we have a deal?
Yes.
Excellent.
I do want something. Now, however. Did you look at the rubble of your pretend lab? Did you poke around there?
Yeah, I had a chance to look.
Right? And you saw, I'm going to produce the hunk of metal.
Yeah.
These pieces of shrapnel. These are the ones that we were looking for. We wanted to tie this directly to a place to see if we could start a trail.
This wouldn't be hard to produce. This is
No.
simple cast pot metal in a, sort of curvilinear form. Wouldn't be hard to make this at all. This is not highly specialized stuff.
Right?
The powder that I produce has a quick and spontaneous incendiary capability when pressurized or contained in a small space and having nowhere to go.
Look at that residue in there, however. Is that from your powder? Or is that a different type of explosive? What is it?
Well, that's Magnus powder.
That's Magnus powder?
Yeah.
Can I do an insight check on that? Or not an insight check, but
You could do a
instinct?
Yeah, I would say it's an instinct check. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Fucking nice. That is a 19 with hope.
19 with hope. You seem to trust Valen. He's been sincere for the most part from the beginning of this, and he seems to be sincere now. You also notice that now that you've at least confirmed that it is Magnus powder, you feel a little bit more like you're beginning to uncover something here. So
Okay.
the swell of hope from that statement on Valen's part makes you feel better.
Who has access to it, and who have you sold it to?
That's a good question. There's a couple of people in the guild who occasionally keep tabs on the 10.
This guild?
The guild of the...
Tinkerers?
hang on a second.
Yeah.
It's the Guild of Inventors.
Okay.
The Guild of Inventors has dominion over the 10. We vote ourselves into these positions, and it's very rare that one of us is either leaves or dies, at which point we would vote in a new one. The Guild of Inventors is a checks and balances system that makes sure that we are in fact not growing too powerful or going astray in our pursuits. And so on occasion they check up on what we do.
Right.
So I do give samples of my powder so that they can sort of keep tabs on us. It's a trusting relationship.
I mean, how big are these samples?
Bigger than a bag of, say about the size of your hand. Would it be enough to create a device like that? Most definitely.
Yeah. I mean, this was an 8-inch, it was 8 inches in diameter, this explosive ball.
It's entirely possible there was enough. I don't keep this completely locked down. There are trustworthy people, the guild being one of them. There is one sort of town city guard that helps to organize a paramilitary group that is just in their pursuits. I've given several samples to him as well, but I fully trust that man and don't really suspect him in the slightest. The guild, however, we've had our differences in the past.
So you would suspect them?
First and foremost, yes.
Right. And
sure.
do they interact with any sort of groups like Maddox the Suit or...
The guild in its own, sort of private lives, I'm not entirely certain who they work with. Could they be corrupted? Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. That's interesting. And you haven't sold the powder to anyone?
Not as of yet.
Okay.
Right now, everything that's been pushed out there has been for research purposes and to create goodwill, establish that between myself and the rest of the city.
Okay. All right. And what was the name of the... The person you gave samples to. What was their name?
The person that I gave samples to on the guild.
Yes.
Well, the primary person who was asking for it was Frederick. I don't know Frederick's last name. The guild is a mysterious one.
Okay. And that's all.
Well, Frederick was the one who was in charge of overseeing my operation. So there's a guild member for every one of the 10. One guild member is assigned to each of the 10. When the guild members meet, they discuss among themselves the various operations of the 10 that are down here. We receive in turn for being part of this group and sharing our secrets with them. We receive this highly protected space where we can work in peace out from under the watch of the city.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of a symbiotic relationship.
Okay. Well, at least that's a name that we can look out for and chase down. This Guild of Inventors, do they have a headquarters in the city?
They're in the guild ward.
Okay.
Actually, probably not far from Galen Shorn's location.
Okay.
I would say 3 blocks at most.
Okay. Thank you. So we'll we could hit that place, see what we find, and then after that, if we find nothing, we can try to bring you Galen Shorn.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It'd be good to have that creature down here. I'm not gonna lie. I'll ask questions about your morals now before we wind up in a hiccup later. If you bring me Galen Shorn, he won't be returning to Amakora. Are we clear?
Where's he gonna go?
He's going to go into my experimentations. If he is the Clank that you say he is, and you're not part of the SFM, you shouldn't have any problem with me dismantling him for his individual parts and putting him to work for me.
Well, if he's innocent, I believe he should go back up. But if he's not innocent, I think that would be more fair for you to keep him. Not that I think it's right.
Why don't we see how that plays out?
But, yeah.
Let's first look at the data set that he possesses and we'll see what he's up to exactly.
Gotcha.
If he comes across as a leader of a small troop of scouting children that want to grow up to do good for the city and he's all good in heart, perhaps we'll put him back to work. But mark my words, I don't think it's going that way.
Okay.
My suggestion is the 3 of you get the angler and get back to Amakora before it's noticed that it's missing.
Yeah, true. Why don't we do that?
There was a guy on the dock that was really creepy.
What did he look like?
Old.
And
So,
old creepy guy on the dock said he's full of them.
Can you help me describe what I saw?
When you saw him,
Yeah.
the guy that you saw on the docks, he kind of came out of nowhere. He came out of the shadows, and if you remember correctly, he attempted to sort of grab you and grapple you. And he sort of spoke to you, but then you teleported away. He was very threatening. You felt really uneasy around him. You're not exactly sure, but you teleported away before you had a chance. That's what happened on the docks.
Mm-hmm.
When you describe this to Valen Darluden, he kind of shakes his head, and he's not entirely sure who it is you're talking about.
Okay. Just making sure.
All right, so you guys make your way out of Valen's studio,
Yes.
back into the main part of the cave, into the angler. You fire it up, all of its instrument panels come to light, things begin to illuminate, and you slowly back the angler out of its dock, submerge down underneath the water's surface, and out you go into the cave system.
I'm gonna make it an extra bumpy ride.
You're going to make it an extra bumpy ride? Okay.
Son of a
You're
bitch.
Oh my
jerking
God.
around on the controls, and your
You're
generals
jerking around while on the controls?
out of the cave.
I'm curled up under the bench like I was originally.
You turn back to the west, and you begin to rise up out of the water. And as you come up, there is just the subtlest hint of dawn that's beginning to sort of rise up. You see it, just a hint, not much. The moons are setting, and you begin to steer the ship back over towards the familiar docks on the jetty. You park the angler, and I'll say that Nakram, you jump out, grab a hold of the ropes, tie up the ship, just as you kind of did before when you untied the ship when you left.
Are we exhausted?
Are you exhausted?
It's been a whole night.
You've missed a night of sleep, and we'll get into that in a couple of minutes. You get off the ship, you climb up the ladder, and as you come to the top of the ladder, you see three individuals sort of standing in the shadows looking at you. And one of them walks right up to you and says, well, well, well. Looks like someone stole the angler.
Shut up.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's chapter.
Fucker.
As you say, shut up. And while the party members argue over whose fault it was that whomever almost died, we're looking forward to bringing you the next chapter of this adventure. Hopefully we'll wrap it up in the next one or two, but stay tuned. It's coming. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.